welcome again to my channel. So in this video I'm going to share some complex SQL queries that you must try to solve before going to any SQL interview. I know I used to say this line in all my SQL videos, but there's a reason behind this line, because we get to know about any particular thing by just doing a practice. Okay, so we need to try all kind of questions that can be asked that related to that particular topic. Okay, so I hope so you don't mind it. Okay, so without wasting time, let's start. So the first question is, write a SQL query to find the count of the total occurrences of a particular character, let's say n. Okay, here can be any character, but I'm just taken as an example over here as a n. Okay, in the full name field. So let's say there is a table that is consisting of employee names, and we have a name, let's say it is Naman Singh. Okay, so this is a name. Okay, so what do we want from this query? We want to count all the occurrences of n. Okay, so the query, in order to fetch the occurrences of this n in this name, so the query would be, it is very simple. Select, what do we want to select? We want to select full name. Okay, and so here we are going to select two columns. The first column will represent the name of that employee, and the second will represent the number of occurrence of n in that particular name. Okay, so the second column will represent, here we are going to make use of length function. Now what this length function will do, it will take the length of the full name. Okay, and then we'll subtract the length of replace lower full name n as number of occurrences. Okay, from, let's say the name of the table is employee. Okay, so this is a query. I know it's a quite tough query, but when I will let you understand this query, you will find it very easy, right? So this is a query that will fetch out all the occurrences of n, okay, from the given table, that is from the full name column. Okay, now let's see how does this query will work. So what it will do, firstly it will examine the length of this entire string. So what is the length of this entire string? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. Okay, so there are total 11 characters. So this is the length of this entire string. And after this, what it will do, now after this what we have to, so firstly see this one part. Okay, so here we have first converted this full name into lowercase. Now what is the reason behind it? Because here the searching value is in the lowercase. Okay, so as we know, a name can consist of n as a lowercase as well as the uppercase. Okay, so for this reason we have first converted this entire name and all the names that are coming in this full name column into the lowercase, and then what we will do, we will replace all the n's that are present in this full name with this empty string. Okay, so after replacing this n with empty string, the resultant would be, it would be a m a s I g h. Okay, so this is a resultant string after this replacement. Okay, now what we will do, we will calculate the length of this particular string. Now what is the length of this particular string? It is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Now it is what? 8. Now what we will do, we will subtract 8 from 11. Now the result would be 3. Okay, now the result of this entire condition would be 3. Okay, now what is 3 indicating? That the number of occurrences of this entire string is what? 3. That is 1, 2 and 3. So this is the simplest query that will find the occurrence of a particular character in a string. Okay, I hope so you get this question. I know it's a quite tricky, but after you get to know about this, it becomes very easy. Okay, now let's see the next question. So the next question is here, fetch project wise count of employees sorted by projects count in descending order. So firstly we want to count the employees that are assigned to a particular project. That means we're going to make use of a group by clause. Okay, that will group the entire table on the basis of the projects. Okay, now after grouping the table, what we will do, we will order by that resultant table, okay, in descending order on the basis of the projects count. Okay, now let's quickly see how do we write this question. So firstly what we will do, we will group by this table. Let's say the name of the table is employee table. Okay, so we will write select. Okay, but we want project ID. Okay, on the basis of which we will group by this table, right? So we will write over here project ID. Okay, and the second thing is what? Count star as, and the new name to this column will be employee count. Okay, employee count. Now here we will write from which table? It is employee table, let's say. Okay, group by. Now here we will specify the group by clause. Group by on the basis of which we are going to group by this table on the basis of project ID. Project ID. And then what we will do, we will order by this entire table on the basis of this employee count. Employee count. Okay, and in which order we are going to order it? In descending order. So we will write over here DESC. Okay, so this is a query that will fetch out all the employee count group by project ID in descending order. Okay, so this is a second query. Now let's see a third query over here. So the third query over here is what? Write a SQL query to fetch odd rows from a table. Now what does this odd rows indicating over here? So odd rows is indicating the place of that row is odd. Okay, that means the row at the first position, row at the third position, fifth position, seventh position, and so on. Okay, so how do we write a query to fetch only odd rows? Okay, so in order to solve this query, we are going to make use of a row num. Okay, so this is a row num, so you're going to make use of this one. Okay, so what does this row num specify? Row num specifies the number of that particular row. Okay, so if a row is present at first position, so it will return 1. Okay, if it is present at the second position, it will return 2. Okay, so this is for the use of this row num. Now let's see how do we write this query using row num. Select star from let's say the name of the table is table 1. Okay, it can be any table. I have just taken a table 1 as an example. Okay, so select star from table 1 where. So here in where I'm going to specify a condition where row num, where mode of row num %2, okay, is double equals to 1. Okay, so understand why I have written this particular thing, okay, over here. Okay, so what is it specifying? Let's say we have been encountered a first row, so the row num of first row would be 1, right? So after this, what will it do? It will take the mode of 1%2, right? And we'll find out the mode of 1%2. So the mode of 1%2 will be 1. Okay, so if it is 1, that is indicating that row is at the odd position, so it will consider that row as the odd row and will output this row. Okay, let's say we have encountered a row having row num is equals to 4. Let's see. Okay, so as we know, it is an even place. Okay, so that means it is a even row. Okay, now let's see how does it will indicate it as a even row. Okay, so it will find out the mode 4 percentage 2. Okay, now as we know, the mode of 4 percentage 2 is equals to 0. Okay, which is not here, it is equals to 0, right, which is not equals to 1. So it will indicate that this row num is not a odd row. Okay, so this row having 4 is not a odd row and will not consider it into the resultant table. Okay, so this is the way how can we how can we result only odd rows from the table, okay, by using the row num. Now let's see the next query. So next query over here is what? Write a SQL query to create a new table with data and structure copied from another table. That is, if we have a table, let's say it is an employee table having employee name, employee number, okay, employee salary, and we want to create a duplicate of that particular table that will be equal same as the structure of that table, and also the contents of table 1 will also be present in the table 2. Now how do we write this query in order to copy a table into another table? Okay, so the query would be, I'm sorry, it will not be select. Firstly, we will use a create command. Okay, so we will write over here create table, and let's say we have been given name to the second table as copy table. Okay, here after writing this, we will write over here select star from table 1. Okay, so this is a query that we can use in order to copy the contents and the structure of one table to the another table. Okay, so this is a table that will copy the structure and the contents of this table 1. So this is a fourth query. Okay, so this is all for today's video. I hope so you enjoyed this lecture. All these kind of queries that we have been discussed today are quite complex queries, but yeah, at the same time they are very interesting also. And if you like this video, then do like my video and subscribe to my channel and share it to as many of your friends. Thank you.